check. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chew and You podcast.
Hey yo, I'm coming for them duffel bags and gold teeth. This game been saturated, written for my nosebleeds. I like that propane and spit that dragon breath. I got that product for the low, all hell my connect.
And welcome back to the Chew and You podcast. Little Chew here again, all alone. No, it's all right, man. We got Chew trying to get through this condition he's got going on and high blood pressure. Hopefully it all clears up soon, man. We do miss him, and Tiger King misses him also.
Yep,
and he was ready to put him through a table.
I really was.
We're talking about that. And Eric says he said it's not me. Okay. But it's going crazy before we even start the podcast, guys. We had a lot to talk about. But let's welcome the Tiger King into the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for showing up, man. We appreciate that, man. It's going to be awesome. Today's going to be an awesome interview. And if you're watching Facebook Live, he's got some merch on the table. He brought us a little bit of goodies. He's going to sign a shirt for us so we can put on this beautiful wall up here. And as you can see, Eric, on the top over here in the corner, right above the Tiger King up there, we got your autograph up there, picture. So thank you very much. We appreciate you, man. That's awesome, and you're into the story,
We're
man.
going to have to get a mask or something to cover that.
Here we go.
I'm kidding.
Here we go. First of all, let me take the opportunity to thank our sponsors for the month, for the end of the month. Ovidio Brothers Electrical. Sergio, thank you once again for your contribution to the podcast, man. We appreciate you. He's doing 100% better. I saw him this week. He came by my work. He's up and walking, so that's good. God bless him, man. Hopefully he continues. Remember, he does have workers out there. If you want some electrical service for commercial or home, give him a call at 956-904-7177. Make sure you get a hold of us there. Tell him the Rockstar sent you. Also, Hemp It Up in McAllen. Maricela, waiting for y'all to come on in, man, and go get your free CBD, you know? So go on by and get there. I know they're offering free samples. You got to go out there and go check it out, all right? Tell them that Chew and You sent you out there. And also, Barrero's Plumbing with Gabriel. He's been getting quite a few phone calls also, which is doing pretty good. And I'm glad for him, man. I hope he continues with the sponsorship here with the podcast with us at Chew and You. His phone number is 956-534-3337. Give him a call if you have any plumbing problems, man. And, just tell him Chew and You sent you. You heard it on the podcast. And our next sponsor is R&D Services. Did a little commercial with Ruben Salinas this afternoon, man. I can't really explain everything that he does, but it's wonderful work. It's affordable. And what he says on the commercial, you're going to really dig into what he said, man. If you want some prices for that, give him a call at 956-212-6113. And if you mention that you heard it here on Chew and You, he'll give you 15% off on the price.
Got to take advantage of that.
Take advantage of that, guys. 15% off. Come on. Who offers that? Nobody. Come on. And he's doing a great service. Get rid of clean up your house, getting rid of the COVID-19. He does pavements, houses, name it, he does it. And it's all legal and professionally done. So, and also for our new sponsors, hopefully to be, we want to give a big shout out to Scumbag and Gentleman Barbershop. This place is so too good to be true, they had to build two. I'll just tell you that right now, man. Respectful place, awesome haircuts. You want to go by. Both locations, you got one in Alamos at 537 North 6.5 Street, Alamo, Texas. The other was located in Donna's 502 North Main Street in Donna, Texas. You want to go by appointment, dial 956-472-0179. Scumbags, Gentlemen, and Barbershop, thank you, man. And we hope you come around and sponsor the show. We will continue pushing your promotion and your business on the podcast. Now, enough is enough. Let's get to the main attraction here. The Tiger King, and the champ. I don't want to say, is that correctly? The champ?
The champ.
The champ. Oh my God! I guess it's okay. And Eric's commenting again, which is you all know Eric Shadows, the Wolf King. He's a commenting. I want to see Tiger King rub my picture for good luck. So
you really good luck. All right.
And then the funny thing. Okay, here he goes.
I'll do it.
Here he goes. Oh God, here we go.
All right.
Oh my God, here we go.
All right, there we
you
go.
go. He's
Good,
touching it.
good.
He's
There
touching
we
it.
go.
Rub. He specifically put rub because he put run by accident.
Yeah. You happy now?
So, I mean, let's get into the point, man. I mean, How long have you been in the wrestling circuit? How long have you been doing this?
The end of this month actually will be 9 years.
9 years.
9 years, yeah.
Ooh.
And Under the Mask, it's gonna be going on 5.
5. Oh, that's
Yeah,
good, man. And how's the mask treating you as far as as far as your fans and everything following you?
It's been good. Hell of a lot better than when I didn't have it. So sorry, I guess I was that ugly. But no, man, it's definitely taken a life of its own.
Has it really?
Yeah. Initially, the whole mask was supposed to be a secondary gimmick.
Okay.
I was gonna run with my main gimmick, and
Right.
This kind of was brought up to me, and I was like, yeah, I can run with it. Just juggle
Yeah.
both gimmicks, both characters, and I only wrestled one match as myself after that, and the rest is history.
The history stayed as the Tiger King.
Stayed as Tiger King, and
That's
it's
awesome, man.
definitely been a lot better.
I was saying, as far as matches wise, I mean, Eric was telling us that he did take you, he did train with you,
Yeah.
and he kind of took you under his wing a little bit to help you out, which is really good of Eric Shaw. I appreciate that, man. I'm pretty sure you appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of bumps and bruises along the way.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So far, nothing major. Aside from like some concussions.
Oof.
But as far as I've slightly dislocated my shoulder, and I've kind of popped my thumb out of place.
Oh my God.
Actually, yeah, I think the worst one so far would be I tore the ligaments in my left foot.
Oh gosh.
And
how did that happen? That bitch is a story behind that one.
yeah, so I was doing a birthday show for my buddy Tony Strong. Tony,
There you
shout
go,
out.
Tony.
And yeah, we were doing a birthday show, and this was before the mask, and I was wrestling my brother, storyline brother.
Okay.
And he's my brother-in-law actually.
All right.
But yeah, we grew up together.
There you go.
So we were put together in a match, and he did a basement drop kick.
Oh.
Which essentially I think he gave me a snapmare, and he ran the ropes and gave me the drop kick, but instead of landing in between my feet, he went off to the side and just landed on my
your
foot.
foot.
And I literally felt my foot just go flat.
Snap. Oh gosh.
And yeah, as soon as he hit, he rolled off. I kind of spun around, and it was the weirdest feeling ever. Like, it didn't feel broken, but it felt like there was a gap in between my foot and my leg. It was, I don't know, it was the weirdest feeling.
Gosh.
And immediately I was like, something's wrong. So I think he came over and pinned me, and I was like, we need to take it home because I can't. Like, something's up with my foot.
All right.
And yeah, by the end of that night, I mean, it was swollen out that big.
Oh my gosh, man! I can only
And
imagine.
yeah, one of my best friends, his dad's a doctor, so I went over to his house a couple of days later, and I was like, hey, can you look at it? Because we don't got insurance. We get injured. I mean, that comes out of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't really have the funds to go and get it checked out. So I was like, well, let me go to my buddies. His dad's a doctor. Check it out. He looked at it and he was like, well, it's not broken, but you definitely did tear some ligaments in there.
Oh
I mean,
my
there was
gosh,
bruising
man.
from like the top part of my foot all
Right.
the way up to my calf.
Oh,
and yeah,
Jesus.
it was terrible.
I can only imagine, bro, trying to get up and walk around
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh gosh.
So that
that was your left or your right?
that was my left.
Left. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
you at least you drive with your right. still.
Yeah, I was like, well, and I had just gotten rid of my standard car.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe
That-
like a couple months before.
And I was about to say,
so
it
I
better
was
be
like,
automatic.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, that would have been bad.
Oh, that would have been really bad.
But yeah. So
Wow,
that's
man.
probably like the worst one that I've had so far.
Oh man, that's crazy. And when you go into training, Tiger King, when you go into training, what is it? I mean, is there a specific? What did you go to get trained in as far as doing the wrestling circuits? I mean, I know you have to do a lot of training before you get in the ring. Where did you start off? What school or where did you go?
Actually, I didn't train at a school. It was there at with Wrestling Revolution.
Okay.
At that time, they were running training out of Ochoa's Flea Market
Oh,
out
okay.
in
Okay.
Mission.
Yeah.
So it was just going there, and actually, because my brother-in-law is the one that started training first.
Okay.
And him and I used to backyard wrestle in high school.
All right. All right.
And during that time, he had heard of a wrestling organization because at that time they were running out of Pan Am.
Okay.
Revolution hadn't like officially started, so they were barely starting out of Pan Am. And my brother-in-law told me about it, and he was like, "Hey, we should check it out." And I was like, "All right, well, you guys go." And never really came out of anything from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few years later, him and I kind of lost contact for a couple years. And then
Okay.
once I graduated high school, he messaged me out of nowhere, and he was like, "Hey, kid, we found a wrestling company here in McAllen.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, he's like, let's go. I was like, dude, I work. Like, I was working at the mall at the time. I was like,
Okay.
He was like, let's go. The show's tomorrow. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
working.
Yeah.
So he went and checked it out. I went the following week, and it was awesome. I was
Awesome,
like,
man.
man,
That's cool,
I
man.
got
That's
it.
good.
So he started training before I did, and I think he started in October of 2011,
Yeah.
and I didn't start training until January. No, he started in, was it 2011? Yeah, 2011. I started in January of 2012, and so I had a lot of catching up to do.
Okay.
And yeah, man, it took a lot. I that first bump,
Oh, yeah.
it
Okay, I
knocks
got
the
you.
air
I
out
got
of you. Man. And I had gone in prepared because obviously my brother-in-law had already been training, so he's like,
Right.
"Hey, make sure you breathe out, like yell, do something, breathe out."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kept psyching myself out, like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it. Well, the moment came, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
So and I remember Eric was there with he was going by the name of Downfall at the time. He's
Uh-huh.
now Matt Riot. So
Uh-huh.
they were the first two that actually trained me.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah, I took that first bump, and Riot was just standing over me, and he's like, "Knocked the air out of you, didn't you?" I'm like,
Yes. Yeah, you
I was
did.
like, "Oh, fuck." So yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
first training was rough, and I was not the greatest.
Oh gosh. No, I mean
But,
you learn through the ways. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the bumps and bruises, and eventually you coexist with the other
Yeah.
your other teammates that are out there wrestling and your performers and stuff like that. I have a question from the Beefy Bros. If I don't tell you, they're gonna go nuts. He's like, I got a quick question for the Tiger King. Is it who has the best mask, AEW Pentagon Junior or Rey Mysterio WWE?
Oof, man.
They're putting you on
So-
the spot, man. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to go with Mysterio, man, hands down. Just simply because he was one of the inspirations growing up as a kid.
All right.
And I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but as amazing as Pentagon and Phoenix are,
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're amazing. Like,
Right.
hardly anybody can do the shit that they can do.
Right.
But I feel like they're just slightly overrated.
Really?
I feel.
Okay.
I mean,
They-
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not bashing them. I still
Yeah.
respect them as performers. I still, love watching them, but I feel that they're just, just a tad bit overrated. I
okay.
mean, still phenomenal athletes, amazing what they can do, but he does have an amazing mask too. But I'm gonna have to go hands down with Mysterio, just because that's my childhood right there.
All right, cool, man. That's awesome, man. And so your inspiration, what made you come into doing wrestling? That it was Rey Mysterio. Were there other wrestlers that you were inspired by?
Yeah. So initially, I got into wrestling because of my uncle.
Okay.
Growing up, my mom and I didn't have cable or anything like that, so I spent most of my time reading books.
Right.
My uncle lived next door to us, so occasionally he'd be like, "Oh, hey, come here, come check this out."
Right.
And the very first memory I have, I remember it was yesterday. I was sitting down watching TV, and it was Ric Flair, and he
yeah.
was he had his
Yeah, his-
buddies around with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I don't remember if it was Nitro, because he got me into it right smack in the middle of the
Yes.
Monday Night Wars.
You were doing with the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
All right.
And so my uncle sat me down. I'm like 3-4 years old at this
Oh,
point.
yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that's Ric Flair. They call him the dirtiest player in the game." And I was, little
Still is, man.
little
Still is.
mocoso. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, he gets all his buddies to
Yeah.
do all his dirty work for him. He
Yeah.
just comes and takes
Just
the
takes
win.
the win, yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay." And then sure enough, just as he said that, it happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, "See, I told you." And I was like, that blew my mind. It blew my mind. And then, just the way Flair would come out with his robes and just this larger than life persona.
Right.
I was hooked. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I went back and forth between Raw and Nitro for a while.
Yeah. Well, of course, the Raw versus
yeah.
yeah.
And another fond memory I have was when Goldust and Booker T were teaming,
Oh, okay.
and they got attacked backstage, and they threw Goldust into the circuit breaker, and he got electrocuted and
Yeah.
got power.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. As a 4-year-old kid, I still, the suspension of disbelief,
Yes,
and I'm
I
like,
got- yeah.
oh my God, did he die? wow, what is this? So yeah, that just hooked me more.
Yeah, yeah.
And from there, we'd see WCW, and then the cruiserweights.
Right.
And I was just like, the first one I saw was La Parka.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it was just like, man, this guy's dressed like a skeleton. Like this is amazing.
Right.
He's going around with his little dance and
Dances
everything.
with his with the actual seat.
Yeah, with the chair, and I was just like, oh man, this is amazing. And then
Right.
they were doing all these crazy high flying moves.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, God, this is awesome. And then Mysterio was there, Guerrero was there, and there was just something about Mysterio too that that caught my attention. And so I immediately became like my first two luchador that I really admired were La Parka and Mysterio.
Right.
And then I started watching Guerrero, and man,
That just blew
me
you away.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up, those three were like my favorites. And then as I got a little bit older, I really got into Wagner Jr.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
just the way he was, in the ring, like so
Right.
menacing and technical. I was like, all right, this dude's badass.
All right.
And I then from there I got into a little bit of lucha after that, because my mom and my aunt, sometimes we'd go to like Progreso and get medications or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
And a couple of times we stayed long enough and we ended up stumbling upon a lucha show.
Oh,
So
there you
I
go.
mean, to me, I was
man.
like, oh my God, these are the guys on TV.
This is just a calling for you, man.
Yeah, like,
this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, these are the guys on TV, even though like they weren't. But
Right,
in a 5-year-old's head, it's like, all right, I'm watching them live.
Exactly.
So I was immersed in lucha libre,
Uh-huh.
and we would go. My mom would take me to Blockbusters like every week, and I came across like the wrestling section, and from there I ended up seeing a Japanese tape that had a picture of a Tiger Mask on it.
Oh, here we go.
And so I was like,
Here you go.
oh, okay, like Tiger Mask, like, that's cool. There's a lucha guy in Japan. I don't know. So I got the tape, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I discovered Tiger Mask, and that's how I discovered Japanese wrestling.
Right,
And
okay.
oh man, that was just a completely different
Oh,
style.
yeah.
Like it took me a little bit to like adjust to it, because I was used to like the spectacle and
Yeah.
the
These guys
the
go-
flashy moves.
These
and
guys
then,
go hardcore,
Yeah,
man. They're
Japanese.
hardcore.
It's everything's like quiet and it's
Yeah.
strong style. But the one thing that really kept me interested was Tiger Mask.
Right.
And so that's how I ended up getting into Japanese wrestling. But very limited on what I was able to watch, simply
Right.
because I was little, so I didn't know there was this whole tape trading
Right,
anything.
right.
So all I could see was whatever I'd find at whatever Blockbuster.
Cool, man. That's
But
good.
yeah, and then I fell out of wrestling for a little bit. I got back into it maybe in like 6th or 7th grade,
Okay.
and then after that, like since then, I've just been hooked on it, and that's
Nonstop.
when I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do.
Now, as far as you saying that this is what you want to do, what was the here's the $1 million question. How was the reaction from your parents or from your family itself saying that, you know what, I want to do this because kids say anything,
Yeah.
They say, I want to do that, mom. Yeah, sure, okay, you'll do that when you get older. I want to do that. Oh, yeah, sure. And then when you get old enough and you say, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. What was their reaction to that?
My mom kind of just like laughed at it, and because she was like, "Yeah, you're too small. You'll never make it." And I mean, I
got
was
you.
like, I was a puny kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I was born premature, so I've never been, I was
Right.
I didn't hit 100 pounds until maybe my junior year of high school.
Really?
Like I was a twig.
Oh my goodness.
So
All right.
my mom was like, "Yeah, you're too small. Plus, you don't like getting hurt. She's like, it takes 5 people to hold you down for one shot." And I was like, "All right, I guess."
I think you and I are exactly like. It's funny, man. Speaking of shots, I'm getting my second dose tomorrow, man.
Oh, awesome.
Wish me luck on that. And I go in there and get my shot. He goes, I don't like needles. I got tattoos. I'm looking at you. You're tatted up.
Yep.
And I still don't like needles.
Yep, I can't stand them, and people tell me that all the time, because I still haven't gotten my vaccine yet.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking to get it soon. But everyone else at my office where I work at,
Right.
they've gotten theirs and like, oh,
Right.
go get yours. I was
Right.
like, no, I hate needles. And they'll look at me and like, You just got a new tattoo last week. I'm like, it's a different needle.
It's a different needle. This is not inserted into my body all the way in and putting actual serum into my system.
Yep.
No, I hear you, man.
So, but yeah, my mom never really. It's not that she didn't support me. She just because she knew that I would avoid any kind of pain at any cost.
Right,
I just hated it.
Right.
So she never thought it was something that I would really be serious about. She was like, "Yeah, it's just a phase, whatever."
Right.
So actually, when it came time that I wanted to start training, and I told her about it, she was kind of against it. So that's why I didn't immediately start training with my brother-in-law back in October of 2011. So when I started in January of 2012, I mean, I would still go. I'd help out. I'd set up the ring. I'd tear down the ring. Right. Pretty much everything that a trainee was supposed to be doing, I was doing it.
And that takes a lot of work. The ring, you think setting up the ring is easy? No, it's not.
And the ring that we had at that time was an old boxing ring.
Oh, shoot, okay.
We called her Big Beulah.
Big Beulah.
Oh, man, she was heavy.
All right.
Oh, damn, that...
And I said this the last podcast when Shadows was here. I told him, at first, I've never been in an actual wrestling ring or yet a boxing ring, but a wrestling ring. And my son and I were in a parade back in, this is 2 years ago, over in Grajeno, Texas. Shout out to Grajeno. They had some actual wrestlers, luchadores, out there that were going to perform at the park. And they had a ring out there, and my son wanted to get in. I want to get in there. Well, go ahead, go for it. And the gentleman that was there, he likes the ring, He goes, yeah, he watches a little bit of wrestling, not too much. He goes, "Suese, señor, get in if you want." Like, wow, he's letting me get in. Cool, all right, man, I'll get in there. Once I get on there, I'm tasting it out. It's kind of, I feel the reaction of the springs in the bottom. Like, okay, all right, this seems pretty good. Let me run to the ropes, ran against the rope, bounce off. Okay, it's not that bad. And he goes, let me go to the second rope and jump off and pretend I'm going to do something. So I get on the second rope and I jump off and I pretend I'm doing an elbow. Well, number one rule, guys, when you get in a wrestling ring, you need to know how to fall.
That you do. That you do.
When I hit that platform, it's like the soul was knocked the fuck out of me. Yep. I was in there like I was copying the guy, and it's funny because the guy was looking at me like, ¿Qué pasó, sir? ¿Está bien? I go, no, cuento pinche madre, duele gacho, bro. It hurts. And he goes, yeah, va a doler, it's gonna hurt. I go, damn. So I was like, that's why I look at wrestling in a total perspective way now, different way, especially after being in the ring and checking it out, how it actually is. Don't let anybody tell you that it's fake, all right? Because when you hit that turf, it hurts.
Yep.
You gotta be prepared and learn how to fall or learn to endure the pain. Yeah. So I mean, enough said about that.
It's like people always think like, oh, they're mad, so there's something under. No, dude, like you literally have, the four beams, and some old rings would have a spring right in the middle to kind of absorb some of the shock.
Exactly.
They don't have that anymore.
No.
Now it's just like, you get the box frame, and you have the metal beams running this way, and you got 2x4s running the opposite way with maybe that much of worth of padding. And then, whatever canvas you got.
Exactly.
And, that shit hurts. It's, especially when you're, and, the thing with me, being a smaller guy, I was always the one getting thrown around and tossed around. It's like, all right,
man,
taking a superplex, and, here I am flying off the top rope, and I'm just like, oh, man.
This is going to hurt.
Yeah. And some rings are, a lot better than others. Like, the ring that Wrestling Revolution had was amazing. That ring was... It had just enough give, and it was soft enough that, it was tolerable. It was a good ring to, build upon.
Right.
You go up to, like, other promotions, other rings, and... Man.
You'll
feel it.
And then that's what I tell you, like watching New Japan, I've seen clips on where Asuka's fighting over there. Mm-hmm. I've seen the guys that she fights, the actual men that she fights, they slap her around so hard, they throw her like a rag doll. Yep. I'm like, Jesus, man. And then for her to come to WWE, I'm like, wow, at least she got away from that.
Yeah, it's a complete 180. Like, you see Shinsuke and Asuka that, they're known for being strong style and for, taking all this punishment and giving it back. Yeah. And then you go to somewhere where, WWE, and they have their own system of wrestling.
Right, exactly.
I can only imagine it's a huge adjustment for them to like kind of ease back a little bit.
Yeah.
But the good thing with that is that it lengthens their career a little bit because they can kind of take a step back and not have to go all out.
Now, as I'm gonna get into nitty gritty here. Now, as five, how many? I mean, total of matches. I'm pretty sure you've had quite a few.
Oh yeah.
Now, has there been one match that you said, "Damn, this was the match. I believe that's on my top 5." I mean, I was like, you know what, this one's gonna be the one to beat. I'm not sure if the match was on this one. When you won, give us first of all, before you answer that, give us a story on this one, man. Who did you win this off of?
So that was actually a triple threat match. The promotion is RGV Championship Wrestling, and it was their debut show. We did it at the Boys and Girls Club in Alton, and it was a triple threat match between myself, luchador named Misterio, and another guy, Gil, the Rebel Striker.
Okay.
So yeah, we went in there, had a triple threat, and immediately we got Striker out of the way, and kind of left to Misterio and I, the actual two luchadores, and we did our little thing, and I don't remember exactly the lead up to the ending. I just remember I hit my finisher on, I want to say it was Gil. Think. And my memory is very hazy on this.
Too many concussions, people.
Oh yeah.
Too many concussions.
Yeah, my memory is terrible. Like I used to have a fairly decent memory, but you after a while, it's a little fuzzy. But
I believe it.
Yeah, I remember I hit my finisher, and got the 3, and I kind of stayed there for a little bit, and I was like, shit, like this is surreal.
Yeah.
Because it's my first singles title. And, it took me, almost 9 years to get it.
Wow, man. That was an accomplishment for you right there.
Yeah, so it was kind of like an oh shit moment. Okay. But yeah, one that stands to mind would be the night that I won the tag team titles with my partner at the time, Corazon de Dragon. We were partnered up for, I want to say, about a good 3-4 years.
All right.
And, we had been chasing after those titles for the better part of almost a year.
Really?
And it just kept coming up that close.
So
And
close.
I think at that time, Revolution was still under the NWA.
Okay.
So it kind of made that win a little bit more sweeter.
Sweeter, yeah.
But yeah, we finally won the titles. I want to say it was at the anniversary show, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the titles, and actually, Shadows and Riot had just reformed as a tag team maybe a week or two before.
Oh, what are the chances and what are the odds?
They competed in a match earlier that night, an ammo box match, and they ended up winning the ammo box, which then it works like the Money in the Bank. You can challenge for the tag team titles.
Right.
Well, guess when they decided to cash in?
After you won the title?
After we won the title. So I managed to hold the half of the tag team titles for a good 30 seconds, and then we lost them.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, that was...
Damn you, Shadows!
Yeah, so, yeah, that was that night, but that was probably one of my more memorable nights. And, I mean, anytime I get in the ring with Shadows, I know I'm going to have a good match.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's good to hear.
He... like I said, he's pretty much the one that trained me. He took me under his wing. If it really wasn't for him sticking his neck out and saying, you know what, no, this guy can, just give him some time. He'll come into it.
Right.
If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
There you go. There you go.
So, I owe a lot to Shadows. So
big words, Shadows, right there. Yeah. Stop picking on the poor guy. All right, leave him alone.
No, well, we still got a bone to settle. The last time we wrestled was a tag team match, and took a really hard elbow right to my temple, so it was like swollen out for days. Had a big black eye. So. Yeah, we got a little score to settle there.
David Martinez says, "Damn you, Shadows!" Oh, man. Beefy Bros, again, asked another question. These guys are all about the questions, man.
That's fine.
You guys ask you, they're curious, and, if you got a call from New Japan, WWE, Ring of Honor, AAA, or AEW, where would you sign?
Oof. I mean, the goal for mostly everybody is WWE, obviously.
Right.
I'm not sure if I would maybe go there right away. You know, I know for the longest time I was like, okay, yeah, I want to get to NXT. But you know, now the landscape is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, it's
way different.
You know, it's not just WWE and Impact anymore. You know, now, you know, Triple H's really come up
Yes.
too, and you know, obviously New Japan, you know, that's an experience just to go overseas.
Yeah.
But
consider the fact that AEW, ABW, AAA, and I forgot the other brand. Those three brands are like in a rotation. If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
Impact.
Impact. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in rotation.
So as soon as AEW started, you know, I was like, you know what, I got to be there. You know, and so I kind of like set a little goal for myself by, you know, the end of next year, I want to at least have a match on AEW Dark.
Dude, that'd be
You know,
awesome.
and if that's as far as I ever get, fuck it, I'll be happy.
Hey, there you go.
But
there you
I
go.
mean, of course, you know, you want to strive for more. But
Right.
You know, if I can at least do that, you know, then I'll be happy. But I think right now, if I had to choose, I would probably go with AEW.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know.
Homegrown Texas. There you go. I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. So you know, I think that would probably be the route that I would go, especially now that, you know, they have, you know, their alliance with New Japan,
Right.
and you know, with Impact, and Impact's doing pretty good. I mean, you know, they had its rough patch for the longest time, but it's starting to come back into its own. So I think that would probably be the best place to go right now,
Yeah.
and really gain that experience.
And it's funny that you talk about Guerrero when you were mentioning Guerrero as far as, you know, his being an inspiration to you growing up. Funny story, and I think Beefy Boy Rowe can back me up on this one. We had gone to WrestleMania in New Orleans. I think this was like 4 years ago, I believe, when they came in. And we went out there. We're out there walking. We got there super late, like around 7 o'clock at night. And these guys, you know what? Let's go to Bourbon Street. They go, let's go. We came to party, man. We're gonna party. We're gonna party, drink, and we got WrestleMania tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey,
Okay.
when in Rome.
So I said, let's go. So we head out there. We went walking down to the Bourbon. We stopped at the oldest bar in America that was right in the corner of Bourbon Street, and I forgot the name of the street that was on. We're drinking and everything, and we say, hey man, let's go in. Let's start walking in. My cousin says, let's start walking into Bourbon Street so we can go check out all the clubs. Yeah, let's go. That sounds like a great idea. So I got Beefy Boy Rowe with me on my left side, and I'm walking straight. And I'm drinking my high powered slush that, oh my God, it was purple slush. I don't know what the hell was in it, Tiger King. I don't know what the hell. And I'm walking, right? And I eventually throw it away, and I'm walking. I'm talking to Beefy Boy Rowe, and I'm looking around, and suddenly I bump into a guy. I bump into him, and I'm like, oh shit, guy was big. I go, oh man, hey, whoa, hey, you all right, man? Hey, you be careful. I pat his chest and everything. He goes, you too, man. Pass me my bag. You be careful out there, man. You know, he goes, be safe, man. Be safe. And I walk by, and Beefy Boy Rowe's looking at me like, you realize who you just bumped into? I go, no. Turn around, dude. Turn around right now before you don't see him. So I turn around. The guy I bumped into, pat his chest and said, you know, be careful out there, was Chavo Guerrero. I bumped right into him. And at the same time, Eddie Guerrero's daughter was there also. Wow. So that was like, we're in the grace of Guerrero's, dude.
Yeah, and you know, I met Chavo too.
Oh my gosh, man, amazing!
Yeah.
There was the guy. I mean, even though it was like for like at least 2 seconds. I mean, for me to bump into him and everything, being Bourbon Street, everybody's drunk. He didn't like, hey, get the hell off me, right?
Yeah. He
was real respectful. But hey, man, you all right? Like, I'm all right. You be careful. You take care. Yeah, you too, buddy. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, super nice guy, man. I mean, Chavo is amazing. Like I said, my wife and my younger brother-in-law had gone to Alberto del Rio's restaurant when he opened it a few years back.
Yeah.
You know, so we went to go check it out. Like, we made that trip to San Antonio just for that.
There you go.
And you know, just as we pulled up, Paige and Del Rio were there.
Oh,
like,
shit.
they were just pulling up too. So
Really?
I was like, oh shit, like that's them. And so, you know,
Felt like a little kid again. Like,
yeah,
oh,
I felt like a
no,
little
no.
kid. And Hybrid School of Wrestling was doing a show there.
Uh-huh.
And you know, I was like, oh man, like if I would have brought my gear, like stupid me. Rule number 1, always bring your gear.
Exactly.
I didn't do it. So you know, I was like, man, I should have brought my gear. You know, just, you know, even if it probably wouldn't have happened, but you know, at least you can ask, like, hey,
just
do you have an extra spot? You know, I've, you know, been wrestling for so and so long.
Yep.
You know, never hurts. But yeah, I didn't take my gear. But
Now you learned.
yeah, now
Now
I
you
learned. But yeah, Chavo was there, and so you know they did the match and everything. He was you know walking around the restaurant, and I was like, I gotta get a picture with him. So you know I got up and I asked, and he real nice. He's like, yeah, man, come here. Gave me a hug, took a
Awesome.
picture.
That's awesome, man.
And
That's
then
nice,
you know I picked up my son because I wanted to have him in the picture too.
Right.
And he was like, oh, no, bring him over here. So like Chavo kind of got him, and he was holding him, and I'm just like, oh shit, like he's
changed his kid's life.
carrying my son. Like my son has no clue what the hell is going on. He's like in the hands of wrestling royalty right now. But you know, yeah, that was a pretty awesome moment, and I mean, just super nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, consider the fact that was the craziest weekend I have ever been. Have you ever been to a WrestleMania show?
I have not.
They will be coming down. I'm plugging this for WWE. They will be here next year, I believe, in Dallas, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that
my brother-in-law and I are trying to
get
we're gonna
tickets.
get out there. Yeah.
Even if you have to get them nosebleeds, bro.
Yeah.
Get the
It's the
tickets.
experience.
It's one hell of an experience. I would recommend any wrestling fan to go out and check that out because it's amazing. You cannot go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've only managed to go to one pay-per-view, and that was the Elimination Chamber when they came down to Houston a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that was when Sasha Banks and Bailey won the women's
tag team
titles in the Chamber.
Yeah.
Oh man, that night was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
And you never forget it. You'll never forget it.
Never will.
You never,
it was amazing.
Totally understand.
So I can only imagine how badass the WrestleMania moment would be.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable, and so many people that you meet on the street, man. You would think, you know, a lot of rude people, man. Everybody from all over the world,
Yep.
And it's crazy, man, because we were there and we met people from Germany, from France, from Mexico, from Brazil, from Argentina. They were all over the place, man. It was crazy, man. I mean, if anything at all, taken to gratitude or to advice, if the world could be a WrestleMania every day, I would love the world that would be like that.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, wrestling fans are like the most badass people you'll ever meet. Like, I remember a while back, I stopped at a gas station and I was wearing my Bullet Club shirt.
Oh, okay.
So I went inside to pay. I'm coming back, walking to my car. Some other dude pulls up and he's wearing a Marty Scurll Bullet Club shirt.
All right.
So, like, we look at each other and, like, you know, we make eye contact. I'm still walking. He just goes,
There you go.
and I was like, hell yeah, man. Never met the guy before, never knew anything about him.
Yeah.
But just because of the shirts we were wearing,
Yeah, I think at the WrestleMania I was wearing my Tamatonga shirt.
Nice.
For WrestleMania. I walked in with that bad boy. They didn't tell me anything, so yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
And actually, because of a wrestling shirt, that's how I met my now brother-in-law, which is how I ended up meeting my wife now.
There you go.
Because at that point, I was a huge Jeff Hardy fan.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
I mean, I had hair down to here.
Oh.
So,
right.
you know, I was always coloring it. I bought the, Jeff Hardy things off of eBay.
I got you.
I'd wear like the baggy trip pants. And, my brother-in-law, he's a couple years older than me. So he'd always see me walking down the halls at school. And him and his other friend would always be like, oh, look at this guy. Look this little Jeff Hardy kid. So they were like, oh, let's go pick on him. So these fuckers would pick on me. They would, they deliberately go out of their way just to walk by me and be like, fuck you, Jeff Hardy kid. You're not Jeff Hardy. And I was just like, I never knew these guys.
Right.
And I'm just like, man, what the hell is wrong with them? And
how weird the tables turn now, huh?
Yeah, so, and I remember the one day we finally formally introduced, they walked up to me at lunch and they're like, oh, we hear you like wrestling. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, we do too. We wrestle at our buddy's aunt's house every Friday. And
there
actually,
you
it
go.
was Friday. And they were like, we're going to be out there tonight, so be there.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
what are these guys going to do to me?
And honestly, I didn't even think about that. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to fucking show up and, show them that. I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, all right, I'm going to be there. So, and they didn't
When in Rome.
they
Rome.
didn't even expect me to show up. And, the ring was a bunch of old tires and some recycled plastic mats that were literally that thin.
Oh, shoot.
And, it was somewhat soft because of the tires,
Right.
but, those mats were sliding all over the place.
Oh, my gosh.
But, ever since then, we just started I started backyard wrestling with them, and the rest was history. That's how we were known in school, as the wrestlers, and even the securities, like, everyone knew.
They already knew already.
The little clique that we had.
Oh shit! There you go.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But
any of the securities go, hey man, I saw your match, bro. Can I get an autograph?
Actually, yeah, one
Really?
of them. I think he was a security. He was a security at my middle school, and then I think maybe like my junior year or my sophomore year, he transferred to the high school. So he kind of got in it.
Right.
And he recognized me before I got the mask. So yeah, he was always a huge supporter.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, it was pretty cool to kind of get like that recognition, and that's. I ended up seeing some of my teachers right before I started wrestling, so they never got to see that. But I think he's the only one that's ever really recognized me from school. Any
of those matches, by any chance, on YouTube?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Oh man, pitch them out. They might want to look at them, man.
Well, kind of can't do that because they kind of, like, a lot of the matches are before the mask.
Oh,
so
never mind.
Yeah,
sorry,
can't do
can't
that.
do it. No, gotta keep that hidden. My bad.
I got a couple of them with the mask on. I'll have to dig them up, and I'll put links on my Facebook.
Yeah, give out your social medias, man, so these guys can follow you. Get that fan base going, man.
Pretty much, I'm only on Facebook. I'm terrible at following social media. Like, I got my personal Instagram, which I think the last picture I posted was maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Facebook, I really don't follow up with it. I just, share memes.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I got my Facebook, Tiger King 2, and, just shoot me a like, shoot me a follow. And
go. And that's the way I met up with Tiger King. I mean, after we finished the show with Shadows, he was telling we had a conversation after the show, and he told me, I told him, hey, I got this guy that liked the show. He actually gave thumbs up in the show. And I go, who was it? It was a guy named Tiger King. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you might want to get this guy. You might want to get this guy on your show, dude. And I go, okay. And he goes, yeah, man, he's a good guy. Took him under my wing. He did real good. Somebody you might want to talk to. So I did the thing, and I said, you know what? I'm sending him a message. And I said, and you were all amped up. He goes, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll do it. But then you and Shadows had something and said you wanted to come in to do a show together.
Yeah, he probably about the same time he was messaging you, he was messaging me, and he was like, yeah, man, they told me they wanted me to, come back on maybe later on. And he was like, maybe you and I can get on it together. And I was like, all right, yeah, that'd be cool. And then you messaged me, and then, we set something up solo. So, right away I was like, hey, they got me on. He was like, yeah, they told me. He was like, so that's going to be all you. It's not us. I'm like, man, that's fine.
And just for your treat, guys, who listen to the podcast or watching Facebook or YouTube, I am going to set up a show with Shadows and the Tiger King in August, somewhere in August. So mark your calendars. It's going to be a good one. I don't know what the tension's going to be when they come in. I'm going to try to make this as baby friendly in here or more foams on the wall.
I guarantee you this table will probably be broken
We'll
through.
probably get the table out of here also. But yeah, man, it was a treat talking to him, man, and just like it's a treat talking to you. I wish Chew was here, man. He would have asked you a lot more different questions as far as that I'm shooting out at you, because the guy really gets into the nitty gritty and gets really into the character and really into the person. But man, having you on here was a treat, man.
Yep.
I appreciate you coming out, dude.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate taking the time to come here. I appreciate everything you're doing out there, performing for the RGV in these hard times right now.
Yeah.
Doing your thing and trying to keep people safe and people happy, not going insane in their homes.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. And guys, follow Tiger King, man. If you see any of the merch you like, hit him up, man. He'll say how much it is. He'll send you out there, or he'll try to do something to get you the merch, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got keychains, stickers, shirts, caps, you name it, man. I got 2 different styles of shirts. Anything you like, send me a message and we'll get acquainted.
Oh my God! And the questions come again. When's the next? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask Rick's question first.
Okay.
Because the other ones are asking me for fantasy matches, but I'm gonna ask Rick Phoenix, Mr. RPM. Sorry, RPM. I almost messed that up, Rick. RPM. He says, when's the next match in the RGV?
All right. So next match is April 17th. It's with Value Wrestling matches. I know for a while we've been doing Facebook Live shows. They actually did their first live in-person like audience show this past Sunday. So I think this next one might be a actual audience
There you go.
can go show.
There you go.
So since we're on the topic of that, I know I had mentioned that I had a little announcement to make.
Oh, here comes the announcement, guys.
That show it's like I said, it's with Value Wrestling matches. I have a title match against Nelson Nails for his VWM Lucha Hybrid title.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I've kind of been after it for a few months now, and a couple months ago he kind of took me out of the equation before the match.
Really?
And inserted himself in the match, and then went on to win it that same night. So we've kind of been going back and forth a little bit.
Payback.
Yeah. So
Payback.
finally we got that match coming up, and
Anything?
just to make things a little bit more interesting.
There we go.
Like I said, I have held on to this title for 423 days now.
Ooh, there you go.
And I haven't had as many title defenses as I would like because COVID slowed everything down.
Right.
But just because, the company that I have it with, RGV Championship Wrestling,
Right.
they haven't been running many shows, but I've been defending it other promotions from here to Brownsville.
There you go.
So, just being the sport that I am,
Uh-oh,
Nails,
Here we go, Nails.
what do you say we make it a winner-take-all title versus
Oh,
title match?
my goodness.
How about that?
Exclusive on the Chew New podcast.
Yep.
The challenge has been tossed, Nails. The challenge has been tossed. I'm going to wait for a response. Once you get that response, I want you to shoot that to me so I can put it on the page.
Definitely.
That's just something I want on the page so everybody can follow you, man. That's going to be, winner take all.
Winner
Come on,
take
get
all.
out of here.
So
oh, my goodness.
That means that somebody will walk home the, shall we say, undisputed Lucha champion of the RGV.
There you go.
So,
What
do you say, Nels? You down?
Damn, I feel a call out there, man.
Yeah, that's a call
Damn,
out.
some fighting words. Oh my gosh! And he says, "Do you have any?" This is some. Thanks, Rick. That's another question I was gonna ask. Do you have any rituals before you go into the match? Do you psych yourself out for something before you go on there?
Yeah, actually, I take a couple minutes to myself and try and get in as much of like a zen place as possible, just to really like focus and get into the match and focus on what we're gonna do. When I first started, that ritual was like the complete 180. I used to blast music and just kind of get into that hype headspace.
Mm-hmm.
But I came to realize that really wasn't the best thing, at least for me, because I wouldn't focus on the match.
Right.
So I'd go out there and I'd end up losing myself.
Right.
So I've got kind of take a different approach now, and I take a little moment to myself and just kind of like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Just go out there and kill it.
Do your thing.
Yeah, I
I
mean
hear you.
it's nothing fancy, just a little moment of meditation and go on out there and kick some ass.
There you go. And here's one more because the Beefy Boys are asking questions left and right. It's just if the Beefy Boys are going to book you, I mean, if the Beefy Boy Bros were to book you on a fantasy match, Macho Man and Roddy Piper versus the Tiger King, who would you choose as a tag team partner? Anyone in the world.
Okay, so it's Macho Man and Piper against me and a partner of my choosing?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. That's a good one. Now, do they have to be alive or can it be
I
deceased?
say it's a fantasy, so I would take it either live or dead.
I mean,
And Rick says take Ultimate Warrior.
man, I would have to say, I want to say Guerrero, man. I know I keep pinpointing it out, but I mean he was one of the best character and technical wrestlers. He really did become one of my favorites. Towards the end. Mm-hmm. So, I would definitely have to say Guerrero. I know I could definitely pick his brain a lot and learn a lot of tips. So that would be my pick.
Awesome, man. That's good to know. All right, guys. I'm going to call it right here because you guys are asking questions like crazy. I think I've turned this into a 2-hour show now, man.
Oh, yeah, has it been that long? Wow.
It's going close to an hour. And I like it, man. I got so many other questions to ask. But I'm going to save those for next time because I know Tiger King has other things to do, and I know he's preparing himself for that wrestling match. It's the 17th of April, correct?
April 17th.
Winner take all.
Winner take
Nails. Anything else special you want to tell the Nails before we get out here? I'm pretty just going to be blasted on. You want to blast them out? What's going on?
Yeah, actually, one thing I do want to bring up, I'm raffling off one of my masks, ring-worn masks. A buddy of mine out from Laredo, Dill Dempsey, unfortunately suffered an ACL tear about a month ago, so he's having to go through surgery. And again, I mean, we don't have insurance, man. I mean, we get hurt, we're down. We got to pay for all this out of pocket.
Exactly.
So, we've been doing some fundraisers, trying to, help with those medical bills. So I'm actually, we still got a couple of days left. I'm raffling off one of my masks.
I got two. I got two of them on
there. They're $5 a ticket. If you want, shoot me a message through Facebook. Like I said, the drawing will be this coming Saturday. They're doing a benefit show for him. So, we'll probably do the raffle then. And so, yeah, you got a couple of days to get your spot.
I'm telling you right now, man, if I win that mask, I'm telling you what I'm doing with that mask. It's going up right on that shelf in the shadow box. I'm going to have the Tiger King autograph that bad boy. And that's going to be displayed right there. So when any other wrestlers comes in and go, hey, top that.
Right next to that bottle of Jim Beam?
Let's not talk about the stuff on the shelf right now, buddy.
I see hand sanitizer.
Nothing but hand sanitizer. But anyway, dang it, man, stop looking at stuff there.
I didn't see anything.
But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Keep following, guys. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Google. We are basically everywhere. You go go on Google, search us, put Chew and You Podcast. We will pop up and we'll show you all our YouTube videos and our podcasts that are available for you to watch or listen to. And I appreciate you guys following us and following us on Facebook Live. I appreciate you guys also, man. I really do. Tiger King, it was a pleasure, man.
Thank
for
you.
coming on,
mine, yes.
coming on this podcast and like I said last week, throwing your awesomeness all over here. It was great. So, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Thank you.
And the little goodies up here in front, man. And we got a couple little goodies for you to take home also.
Awesome.
So you can enjoy those and display. And I know you are interested in getting one of our merch, that wrestling mask.
Yeah.
Man, if you wear that, if you wear that at one of the shows when you go out, take a picture, man.
No, definitely.
Take a picture,
Hands
man.
down,
Send me the picture. I want to post that up also as much as we can. So, but I want to say, do the Macho Man handshake. Are you shitting me? No, I'm not gonna put him through that, man. Even though me and the Beefy Boy Road doing awesome Macho Man and Hulk Hogan one, but no, that's ours, all right.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time we're on the show.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll invite you in, Rose. You come enjoy this. I was gonna give you a call today to enjoy this with me, but you know what? I was selfish. But anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Tiger King. Thank you for coming. Next week, we have Mike from the Eatery coming in for the first time interview. All the stuff we've been talking about the Eatery. Great place out there, food trucks. You should go try that, man, on the weekend.
I was seeing that on the past podcast, and I definitely got to go. I'm a sucker for food.
Hey, you got to go check that out. And Mike, might think maybe a wrestling ring out there one day.
Make it happen.
Oh, gosh.
That'd be
awesome. You get a wrestling ring out there, get some fans out there, have the food trucks running. Oh, my gosh. Craziness, my friend. Craziness is what's going to get. But thank you, Tiger King, like I said, everybody on the podcast, thank you for listening. And like I said, we prayers go out to Chew. Hopefully he gets better. He'll be back in the podcast. Till then, guys, laters, gators.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chew and You podcast.
Hey yo, I'm coming for them duffel bags and gold teeth. This game been saturated, written for my nosebleeds. I like that propane and spit that dragon breath. I got that product for the low, all hell my connect.